Good morning, everyone. It's Wendy. Welcome back to my channel. I want to come on and do a really quick video for you guys because I went to Louis Vuitton yesterday in the Bloomingdale's at South Coast Plaza and I picked up a repair item. And so I want to give you guys a little bit of information about it and show you the item and just give you my thoughts on it. And so the first thing that I want to say is that I was blown away by the customer service that I got at Louis Vuitton. They didn't charge me to fix this piece. It's just to give you a little preview, it's the 6-key holder in monogram with the rose ballerina interior. I've had this item, I don't even know how long, like 4 or 5 years. And for the first year, at least, maybe 2 years, I used it all the time in my bags because it worked for me. And then I found that it didn't work for me any longer, and I'll talk to you about that in just a second. And so we just had our mail key and then another key on it, and it was in the drawer. When you walk into our house, there's like a little table where my husband puts his things, like his keys and his sunglasses and stuff like that. Otherwise, they end up all over the house. So I just got this little table for him, this little drawer that's dedicated to him. And so we had this item with just our mail key. And so that was pretty much the only purpose that it's been serving for the last couple of years. We would just grab it and then walk down to the mailbox and then come back with it. Every now and then my husband would put it in his car. I would put it in my car just because, for ease, if you're running errands, you come back and you check the mail. So, I noticed in December, I just, for the first time ever, I just kind of really picked it up and had a really good look at it. And I noticed that, the button had, I'll show you in a second, but the button was all worn off. It was rose ballerine, and then the glazing was like picking off. And so I was like, ugh. So just before Christmas, my husband and I went into Louis Vuitton to pick him up a fragrance. And sort of at the last minute, I just threw this in my bag and I thought, oh, maybe I'll ask them if they can fix this. But it was almost embarrassing for me because, we've kind of, I don't know. It just felt embarrassing to me because maybe we hadn't been taking the best care of this item. So I bought my husband his fragrance, and then I pulled it out and I was just like, do you think there's anything you guys can do with this? And she said, well, we don't make the 6-key holder with the rose ballerine tab anymore, so we can replace it. So that now's the time when I should show you what this item is, right? We're already a couple minutes in. So they gave it to me with the bag, and let me tell you, when I dropped it off, they were amazing to me. When I picked it up, they were amazing to me. They didn't charge me any money, which maybe they should have because it's been such a long time, but here's just the receipt. I didn't even look at this. The receipt, and then it just says no charge for the repair. That's all it says. And then they gave me a little dust bag, and then they gave me this little cutie. So it's a monogram. It used to have the little rose ballerine tab on it to match the interior, but it was completely worn off just from use, just from like opening and closing it. And so they asked me if I would be okay because they don't sell it with the rose ballerine anymore. They asked me if I would be okay. Oh, my husband's yelling at my dog. My dog is being so naughty. If they would be okay if they replaced it with the gold tab. And I said, of course, because, I had an Emily wallet in monogram with rose ballerine, and the tab wore off completely, and they ended up deeming that wallet defective. So they were able to replace this little cutie with this tab, and then the glazing, I should have taken pictures, but the glazing was totally picked off. And so I am incredibly impressed. I just can't believe that they were able to replace this glazing and resurrect this little beauty. So like I said, I've had this for a long time. So you open it up and it's got the rose ballerina interior. It's very dirty because keys are dirty. And that's one of my little things that I want to talk to you guys about. So there's nothing here. In here, there's a little place that you can slip in. I always used to put my driver's license in there, and then a $20 bill. And then there's areas here that you can put your keys. And then the only thing that I have in here is the little care card. I don't even know why I have that. And then this little beauty, where is this made? I can't even see that. Made in France. So yeah, it's a little made in France beauty, but you'll see that it's very dirty. And I could take a baby wipe to this and I could wipe it and it would get more of this off, but I don't really see the point of it. And there's the exterior. You'll see it's just one continuous piece of canvas there. And then again, it used to be a rose ballerine tab, and then they snapped and then they replaced it with the brass one, or Yeah, so I want to give you guys some thoughts on this little cutie. I think that every single YouTuber out there, when they're asked the question, what's your favorite all-time piece from Louis Vuitton? A lot of them will say the 6-key holder. I'm going to beg to differ at this point. I was almost, don't be mad at me, I was almost a little bit hoping that they were going to deem this item defective so I could have a credit with Louis Vuitton, because I just don't really use it. And let me explain why. So I have this. First of all, I'm going to just be honest with you guys. I'm not in love with the monogram canvas anymore. I've sold off all of my bags other than one. I have my Louis Vuitton Speedy B25, but and I have like a cosmetic pouch and a couple other little things, but I'm just not in love with the monogram canvas anymore, and I'm pulling away from it. In fact, I'm pulling away from canvas. I have some items, but I don't plan on adding any more. It's a look that I've kind of grown out of and just evolved from. But also, the main criticism that I have of this is that it just doesn't do the job for me. So my husband has a truck and a car, and I have a car. So this is, I have a Mercedes, and then these are my other keys. These are the keys that I was talking about that are usually on here. It's a male key and something else. But obviously this isn't going to work in here, right? Because this thing is just too big. Like, this key is just too big to have it work. And then my husband's got a Toyota truck, so I mean, this key could probably work, but it's kind of lumpy and bumpy. And then he's got a BMW. He's got a beautiful M6 that we hardly ever use. We hardly ever drive. It just sits in the garage. But this key is like so he's got his Toyota truck key on here. So these are his keys, and then this. But even this, like, if you take everything off, you put it on here, it's just, the keys that they make for cars right now, they just don't work in this little thing anymore, right? So I don't know. I love this and I used it all the time, but it just doesn't work in my life anymore. What does work in my life is this. And you guys have seen that I've talked about this a million times. This is a Longchamp little, I think it's called a coin purse or something like that. But it's beautiful because it's all leather and it's pebbled leather. And then the inside, all I have is, because I'm a lip chapstick junkie, I have my key here. So this is my key for my car. And it just folds right up beautifully and then goes right in here. And then there's tons of room for like lipstick. Sometimes I'll have like 2 or 3 lipsticks in here, and then a lip balm. So this is perfect. And it's like, the interior is kind of like I don't know what this is, like a coated fabric or something like that. But keys get dirty. Keys get really dirty. And so if you use this, obviously it's going to be nearly impossible to keep this clean. And it just doesn't work with modern day car keys, right? Like, I don't know. So this was a beloved piece that I loved for many, many years. And I'm glad that they fixed it for me, and that was really nice of them. And the ladies were just really, really sweet. There's a lot of other damage that I noticed on the canvas. That's my fault. It's no one else's fault, but there's like, I won't be able to show you. I just, you know, I won't be able to show you at this point, but that's a really good close-up of it. And I loved, because I had an Emily wallet that matched this, so it was monogram with the rose Valerine interior. And again, they deemed it defective because the tab got too like worn off, and then when they tried to replace it, they just couldn't, and so they gave me a credit for it. Which gets to like a bigger point, is that I'm really pulling away from Louis Vuitton small leather goods. It's really ironic because Minnie discussed this in her Minks for All Q&A this morning, and I was planning on talking about that because I have this Chanel wallet, and this is like a completely 100% carefree item, and I've never ever had any problems with it. I never worry about it. The caviar leather is amazing. But just about every Louis Vuitton small leather good that I've ever had that comes in and out of purses, I've had problems with because the glazing goes. So I just don't think I'll be buying Louis Vuitton small leather goods anymore, and I don't think I'll be buying any more canvas. it's just, like I said, it's just something that I feel like I've kind of grown out of a little bit. But I did want to tell you guys that I was blown away by their customer service. The ladies that work, especially at the Bloomingdale's Louis Vuitton in South Coast Plaza, they always treat me so well. And it's really comfortable for me to go in there. I don't feel intimidated going into that store. And I just couldn't believe that they did such a wonderful job of reglazing this little beauty. I don't think that I'm gonna use it. I think I'm just gonna tuck it away. Because it just doesn't, it's not useful to me. Like these kind of like conventional keys will fit in it, but any sort of like car key is just not going to really work. So I wanted to give you guys that feedback. There were so many beautiful things at the Louis Vuitton store yesterday. Spring is really pretty. I really love that blue color that they're coming out with, but I am not buying anything. You guys, it's now January 20th, right? 21st, 20th. Martin Luther King Day, and 20th, and I haven't bought like a mascara, nothing. I'm not tempted to buy anything. In fact, when I went to the store to pick this up to South Coast Plaza, I was like, just get me in and get me out. I don't need anything. I had to walk by Furla, and Furla had some beautiful bucket bags in their windows, and I walked by and I was like, oh, those are really pretty. And I thought, I don't like bucket bags. They don't work for me in my life. Like, I am not a bucket bag person. I'm not a backpack person. And also, I'm really keeping my eye on the prize. I am not buying anything. I'm not being distracted by any beautiful items. I want to buy 1, maybe 2 bags this year, and it'll be at the end of the year, and I'm gonna walk into the boutique with cash, cold hard cash like an old lady. Just, this is what I'm buying. I've got my eye on the prize. There's a couple things that I'm really interested in buying, and I'll show that to you guys later on this year. And then I came to the realization as I was walking through, because, you know, I walked by Fendi and Chanel and Louis Vuitton and Saint Laurent and Longchamp and all of the Gucci. And I thought, wow, there are so many beautiful, beautiful items for us to get, to fall in love with, you know? But I kind of see it now. Give me a little bit of leeway here, but I kind of see it like going to an art gallery for me now. Like, I walk in and I see all the beautiful things, but I don't need to consume them. I don't need to purchase them and bring them home. I think we as women, especially, we are nesters, right? We want to bring in beautiful things into our house, and we're attracted to beauty. But for me, I can say, that is gorgeous. That is smart. That is functional. But I don't need to consume it. I don't need to buy it and bring it home and have it in my house. I can just really appreciate it in the store, on the shelves, looking gorgeous. I can appreciate it on other people. I can appreciate it on Instagram. But for me, I don't need to do that anymore. I think I am a cured shopping addict, you guys. I am cured. I am liberated from tyranny. I don't know. I'm liberated from being a shopping addict. You know, there are a couple things that I want, but I'm going to save up all my little cash, and then I'm going to be really happy to go and buy something. And I think that's part of what I'm going through too, is like, I think the constant buying and selling and unboxing of videos and these huge big hauls, it kind of takes away from the luxurious experience and the luxury. I think buying luxury is such an honor, and it's something that not all of us can do. And so I want to savor the experience of buying luxury going forward. I want to save up my cash and walk in and treat myself to 1 or 2 items a year and have it be a luxurious experience that I am so grateful for and understand the blessing of, if that makes sense. I think for a while there, I was lost in my shopping addiction and was just buying and selling stuff. And maybe I was doing it for videos, or maybe I was doing it to keep up with the Joneses or something. Maybe that was part of what I was doing it for, but I am cured. And, and now I just want to buy stuff that makes me consumed with gratitude, really realizing the blessing it is. Sorry, I'm suffering from a cold, so I'm going to let you guys go. Peace.